Hello everybody out there. So my name is Maureen and I decided to make a video. Honestly, I've been sitting here for the last hour trying to think of what I wanted to do for this video because I have so many ideas. It's really hard to just pick one thing to do and stick to it. But I think I decided that for this video in particular, I was just going to talk about how to deal with criticism. And I know it's probably a topic that's been covered a million times on YouTube, but I just wanted to give my 2 cents because it's something that I think we all deal with at one point or another, and we could all use a little bit of advice on the best way to deal with it, or I should say the healthiest way or the most productive way to deal with criticism, because we all get it. So the first thing I wanted to say about it was that criticism is not something that really even bothers you unless it's from somebody that you actually care about, right? So if a stranger comes up to you and insults you on the street, it might bother you for a second and then you'll get over it because you don't care. You don't know that person. They're nothing to you, So the one that I'm talking about is dealing with criticism from people that love you, that care about you, people that you love and care about, and how to deal with that. What do you do when somebody's being really critical of you? So generally, if it's somebody that loves you or that you love, then hopefully they're being critical, but they're coming from a good place, meaning their critique is because they love you and they see something that might hurt you or might not be good for you, or you might be hurting somebody else, or just something negative that they think you might not see. So that's the first thing to keep in mind when a friend or a family member is saying something critical of you. If you think that their motive isn't good, if you think that they're coming from a place of jealousy or envy or anger or bitterness, then that person is not your friend and you should probably cut them out of your life. Even if it's a family member, I know that's hard to hear, but not everybody is healthy for you. So it could even be a family member that could be toxic in your life that you may need to distance yourself from. I'm not saying be mean or nasty to them. I'm just saying guard yourself, guard your heart, and guard your mind from people who are trying to poison it. Even if it's family. Because family, they're supposed to love you and everything, but they don't always. So that's what you gotta do. So the other thing is, if basically you've decided that this person is coming from a good place and you've kept that in mind, then it makes the next step a little bit easier. So the next step is not to go on the defensive, although that is the automatic reaction for most people, including myself. I'm not an angel. If someone is criticizing me, I will automatically go on the defensive. But that's not the most productive way to deal with it. To be honest, the most productive way to deal with criticism is to let the person say what they want to say. Just stay quiet and process it and it's really hard to do, but try and process it from a perspective of okay, why are they saying this? What's the motive? What are they trying to say? Instead of just listening to what they're saying, just try and hear, what are they trying to tell me? What is it what message are they trying to get across? And if the motive is good and they're trying to help you, then you can address it more calmly afterward, whether you agree with the criticism or not. So if you don't agree with it, the best way to respond is to just kind of say, I hear what you're saying, but I respectfully do not agree with you. I understand that this is your concern, So basically reiterate what they're saying so to make sure that they understand that you heard them. Because a lot of the time, arguments just keep growing and growing and growing because people are not feeling like they're heard, like they're understood. So they're trying to constantly reiterate what they're saying, and then it gets harsher and harsher the more angry or the more frustrated they get. So if you can just cut that out and just get it so that they know that you understand their point and where they're coming from, that's half the battle right there. So if I say to you, I don't think you should, wear that dress. It doesn't look good on you, whatever. So I would process that and be okay, well, I understand that you are trying to protect me from other people, hurting me or whatever. You're trying to protect me from getting embarrassed, whatever it is. But respectfully, I don't agree. I love this dress. It makes me feel good about myself. And so despite the fact that, other people may not like it or you might not like it, I'm still going to wear it. Then they can't say anything to that. They can't be angry or whatever, because you've understood their perspective, you've given them not the option, you've given them basically the information that they've been trying to reiterate. They know that you understand what they're saying and where they're coming from. So you're not offended by it, even though it might be an offensive comment. You're actually taking it as information that they're trying to give to you to try and protect you or help you or whatever, even if you don't agree with it and if it's crazy, it doesn't matter. What matters is how you react. It doesn't matter what they say. It matters more how you react to what they say, because that's going to set the tone for the rest of the conversation and for the outcome of the conversation. So instead of getting upset and frustrated and insulted and reacting like this, because that doesn't do anything, that just escalates the issue, and then people are fighting and then nothing is resolved at the end. So instead of doing it that way, it's better for you to just stop and take a minute, listen to what they're saying, listen to where they're coming from. That's so important. Reiterate that information to them so that they understand that you understand them, so they don't feel the need to like keep explaining to you, like beating a dead horse. Like, I get what you're saying to me. You don't like the dress. You think it makes me look fat. You like whatever it is. Okay, I understand. Despite you saying that, I still like it. Like, I've had those issues. Sometimes I like to wear wigs, and I get a lot of criticism about that from my own family. And I tell them, like, I understand what you're saying. You might not like it. You might think it looks like this, that, the other. But knowing all that, I still choose to wear them. It still makes me feel good about myself. And then there's nothing really people can say after that, you know? So that's the best way to do it. And it really doesn't matter what kind of criticism you get in your life, whether it's based on the way you look or on your own performance or on whatever it is. Most of the time when people are talking to you, they're not trying to hurt you, unless it's like someone who is malicious, which in that case, like I said, that's a different situation, and I'll tell you how to deal with that after. But I'm talking about from people who actually care about you and people that you care about, like friends, family, your spouse, your kids, whoever it is. Now, scenario 2. If somebody is criticizing you and it's not coming from a good place, it's coming from like a malicious, evil, kind of jealous, whatever place, then the response should be even shorter, because it will drive them crazy that you don't get upset. Because if someone is doing that, their goal is to upset you. They want that reaction. They want to be able to poison your mind or your heart, whatever it is. So to counteract that, when they say something nasty about you or whatever, at least for me, like what makes sense is not to fall into the trap that they've set. They've literally set up a trap for you. They want you to fall into it. So by remaining calm, and saying, again, you can say to them, I don't agree with you. And that's it. Then walk away. But basically, the most important part of that situation is not to lose your cool, to remain calm. And, if it's a really big accusation or whatever, say, I don't agree with you, and then leave the situation. If it's just saying, oh, you're stupid, you suck at your work, just be like, okay, well, I hear what you're saying. I don't agree with you. And I'll see you next time. I'm done with this conversation. I don't really want to say anything else. Or, I disagree with you, but, I hope you have a great day, and I have stuff to do. Find an excuse to get out of there, okay? Because staying in there is not going to help you. And if somebody's doing that maliciously, they're trying to start something with you. And you don't have to give people that power over you. That's up to you. You choose what you give and take from people, right? That's my advice to you for criticism. And I hope that's helpful. I know it's really hard to follow. It takes a lot of practice. It really does. It's not something that you can just flip a switch and then all of a sudden overnight you're just doing it all the time. You have to practice it. What do I mean by practice it? I mean basically just try and do it over and over and over again. And think of scenarios in your head before they even happen. So if you're going to a function where there's people who are going to be really critical of you, just prepare yourself mentally for how you're going to react to that. So that when that comes, you already have that gut instinct of what you're going to say and how you're going to react and how you're going to control the emotion that's coming out of you and stuff like that. It's so important for us as humans to be able to control our thoughts and emotions. And we always think of it as something being beyond us, something that we cannot control. But that's not true. If you can't do it, then who can? you can control your emotions and you can control your thoughts. It's really hard, but you can do it. You can practice it on a daily basis. And if nothing else, I mean, if you really feel like you're out of control, just separate yourself from the situation, get some distance, cool down, change the setting, change the scenery wherever you are. Because it's just not healthy to dwell on bad things. It's not healthy. So yeah, that's my advice to you guys. I hope that's helpful, and I hope that you guys appreciate this advice, and let me know if you guys have any questions about anything else. I'm going to try and post more regular videos about things. Have a great day, guys. I love you all. Bye.